Okay, so here we are. As you can tell, we're not in a camper. Me and my wonderful traveling companions, who are completely psyched out, if you can see them behind me, and exhausted like they've had a rough day. um, we are at Best Western Hotel in Birmingham, Alabama. And some people will be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, we've had a long day. The truck run like crap all the way from about Pulaski, Tennessee, going up those big long hills. Just, I guess, really wore on my truck. It's still got some kind of problem somewhere. The cooling fan wasn't working. And so it got hot. The transmission started acting like it didn't want to shift. So I pulled off the exit just before going into downtown Birmingham, Alabama, because I figured Birmingham, I pretty much limped it the last 100 miles here. Only like a redneck girl can do. um, but I got to Birmingham, Alabama. I got to a Target parking lot, so I had plenty of room for me in the camper and plenty of room for a tow truck to hook up. I called AAA. AAA come out, put my truck up on a hauler, hooked up to my camper, and drove me to the mechanic shop in Birmingham. So I figured, well, okay, let's back up and hunt. Let's go rent a truck from Enterprise who advertises that they have trucks that you can tow things with. They do not. None of their trucks have even have the receiver on them to be able to put a tow hitch in it. None that I've seen anyway. Um, so that was a big negatory. It's getting on to the evening by the time AAA come and picked me up. It was a little after 4. They closed at 5. Um, then when I get, I take a lift from the mechanic shop where AAA dropped me off, my truck and my camper. And the dogs take a lift, which I had an amazing, wonderful Lyft driver. But I'll get to that here in a second. But Lyft took me to Enterprise, who took my reservation over the phone. However, when they rang the truck around finally, an hour and a half later, um, they go to run my card and said, "This is a debit card, not a credit card." And I said, "I don't have a credit card. I don't believe in credit cards. I'm trying to get out of debt. Um, you're going to have to take my debit card. Well, you have an out of state driver's license and we can't rent to you unless you have a credit card on file." So if I had an in state driver's license, you would rent to me. If I was in Tennessee, you would rent to me. Um, so I don't understand what the problem here is. And he said, "You have an out of state driver's license and a debit card, and we need a credit card." So I take my one credit card, small limit credit card that I have just for emergencies, just for stuff like this. And I only have like 140 something dollars available on it. So I think, okay, I will go ahead and put money on it. That will cover the cost of the Enterprise rent a vehicle. And that will at least get me and the dogs ride to a hotel or, you know, um, and help us be in a safe, place. Well, of course, it's after 5 p.m. and the money won't post till tomorrow. So when they try to run a credit card, of course, they're going to deny it because it doesn't have enough balance on it. And they said, oh, we're just putting a reserve on it. No, you're not. You're charging the credit card. So call Lyft back. And this is where I meet Mr. Anthony, my wonderful Lyft driver. This man picked me up from Enterprise, took me back to my truck and my camper at the mechanic shop, and said, "Well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sleep in that camper tonight?" And I said, "Well, I can. I really don't want to. I'm in downtown Birmingham. I have not a clue. I don't know anybody here, and so I have not a clue where I'm at." What kind of neighborhood I'm in or anything like that. And he said, well, you're in a good part of town. He said, this is South Birmingham and your stuff is going to be fine right where it's at. Nobody's going to touch anything. He said, and it's well known that this mechanic that you're at's a very good mechanic and he has cameras all over the place and stuff like that. So your stuff's going to be fine. He said, but he said, you got no electricity. It's going to get cold tonight. You and your dogs out there. And I said, he said, but he said, and I asked him and I said, and about this time my phone is dying. That's why I'm on my laptop. Um, and so right as I'm trying to Google a pet friendly hotel nearby, my phone up, guys. This man got on the phone, found me a pet friendly hotel. So we were at the Best Western in Birmingham. Cost me an extra $40, $20 per dog. They didn't ask a question online about what kind of dogs, anything else. And they rented me a room for tonight. And so here we are. Now, tomorrow, I am going to have to figure out how I'm going to get out of here. Of course, a lot of that checkout time 8 till 11. A lot of that is going to depend on what's going on. So, hopefully, I can find another Lyft driver, Mr. Anthony, that'll allow the dogs in the vehicle and help me get back over to the mechanic shop, or at least I can figure out what's going on with my truck. Hopefully, it's nothing big. Hopefully, like I said, it's still some kind of electronic part, and hopefully, this guy's as good as my Lyft driver says he is, and he can find the problem quickly, easily, and cheaply. um, Hopefully, it's nothing major. It's just I'm not, like I said before, I'm not about busting nickels for vehicles anymore. However, it's all going to depend on what he tells me tomorrow. God only knows what parts it is, how long it will take him to get parts, blah blah blah. So, the plan that I have come up with in my pea brain is U-Haul. I will go rent a truck from U-Haul. I will haul my camper on to Foley, Alabama. Turn my U-Haul in. Then, whenever they tell me what's going on with my truck and how much that costs, I will rent a vehicle and get back to my truck. I can always rent a smaller car way cheaper. Um, and stuff now, especially that I've put money on my credit card. but I wasn't planning on putting on my credit card. But so once I do that, then I can head on over and pick my truck. Hopefully, it's nothing major, and especially hopefully nothing expensive. um, if so, I've got a real hitch in my gear. So, but as long as I get the camper to the campground, I can work on finding a job, pick up some money, and get you to cover this expense as long as it's not anything over like thousands of dollars or anything like that. I gotta say, It's been an adventurous day. We wanted adventure. I promised you I'd be honest. I promised I'd tell you my fuck ups. Little did I know. Here we are. No, right off the bat. And so I'm kind of trying to be quiet because we are in a hotel room. But I just wanted to check in with y'all and say why I'm in a hotel room. I've got some other video that we'll post along with this, so stay tuned. I'm always loud.